The Walther RM8, a cheap PCP, all the features in it, lots of people rate it. Well, I've got one off my subscribers, so keep watching and I'll tell you all about it and what I think of it. Alright there guys, it's Steve here with another video from Airgunology, and on today's video we're going to be reviewing the Walther RM8, and I have from my subscriber here, Alan, so thank you very much Alan. This is the Ultra Compact version, so this is the shorter, what you might call a carbine version with the shorter barrel on it. Just before everybody starts asking, this is the warning sticker that comes when it's new on here. You can take this off, but I'm not going to. I'll leave Alan to do that because it's his rifle. But yeah, the RM8, as I'm going to start calling it, there's many versions. It's been out for quite some time now and is very popular and is very cheap. It's a PCP rifle with an 8-shot indexing magazine via a bolt action on the side here. And you can get this, recommended retail price is £449 UK. However, I've searched around and I found this as low as £395 in some RFDs. So have a look around, nice and cheap. But is it any good? Well, let's start by talking about some of the specifications of the rifle. Now, its weight, unscoped and without a bipod on it, is 3.75 kilograms. It's not a light rifle and it's fairly heavy on the front here. But for the price, it's not too bad at all. Its length is just a shade under 1 meter without a silencer on the end of it. I think the official length of it is 916 millimeters. It's a PCP rifle, so we have a bolt action here and we have a magazine slot in here, 8-shot rotary magazine, and we have the bottle underneath here, a smallish bottle. So talking about the bottle, it's a 232 bar fill, but generally if you're filling it up to about 200 bar, which most of us will do on our dive cylinders, you're looking at about 180 shots in 2.2, and you can get up to about 150 shots in 177. So the shot count's okay-ish. It's not in the 400-500s, but it is actually pretty damn good. So let's walk around the rifle as usual and do our usual things. So on the back we have a very simple rubberized butt pad, quite squishy. Fits nice into the shoulder. It's actually quite comfortable. It is an ambidextrous stock, and I'm not sure if you can actually get the bolt on the other side or not. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't think you can. The cheek rise here is fairly high, so that gives you nice eye relief to line up to your scope on here. And again, this is not adjustable or anything on here. And this is all made of quite tough ballistic polymer plastic on here. We have a nice, great big thumb hole stock at the back here, which actually gets you nice in. And it's really sort of a thumb wraparound. There's no thumb up on this at all. And the stippling on here is very deep and very rough, which is great, and you can see that it comes all the way up to the front and underneath it as well, which really does sort of like grip into your hands, especially if you've got gloves on or it's a little bit wet out of there. If we move up around the back, and again I'll leave some pictures like I normally do, but basically what you've got up the back here is a automatic safety catch. Now this safety catch always comes on and applies whenever you cock the rifle. And to operate it, there is a little button that you have to press and then push in to take the safety catch off before the rifle will fire. So let's just do that, and obviously this is empty. So we cock the rifle, the safety automatically comes on. We push the little button, push it in, and then we can fire it off. Moving down to the trigger is a polymer trigger, and it's not metal, but it is adjustable. It's not what you'd call a match grade trigger at all. It's got a nice good flat blade on it and actually feels quite nice in the hand when you're using it. It's nice and crisp. It releases. Its second stage is nice on it. So if we just cock it, we can feel the second stage is a nice little definite click there, and then squeeze, safety catch, and then just squeeze off, and it actually goes off quite crispy. So it's actually quite a good trigger on there, and I've not had any need to adjust it at all. Up the top we have 11mm dovetail rails, quite a nice long dovetail up on there, and the nice thing about it is that the magazine opening here actually stops underneath the dovetail rail, so you can put really low down mounts for your scope on here. And I've just paired this up with an MTC on here at the moment for the review purposes. Then we come down to the bolt itself. Now the bolt is fairly simple. As with most bolt actions, you do need to give it a little bit of effort on there, and these rifles do like you to be able to pull the bolt back in a nice firm crisp action and push it forward, and this obviously opens up the magazine release area here. Talking about the magazines, I believe you get 2 of them, and they're these nice simple rotary style magazines, so simple to load. They never go wrong. Basically, you just slot your pellets in here, push them home, and then the magazine just slides in like so. Now there is a magazine release catch here. You'll see there's a little lock-in lever, so you pull that back, the magazine goes in from the other side like so, and you don't need to push that forward. When you put the bolt forward, that catch will go forward with it, and there you are loaded. Now obviously this is empty, and then again push forward on the safety catch and fire off. And to unload it, nice and simple, back, pull the magazine catch back, and then just slot your magazine out. Nice and simple. A really good magazine system. And let's just, what we'll do is we'll take the silencer off as well so you can hear this. Now on the end is your standard half UNF that you've got on here. And this is actually being fitted out with the really good Virac silencer. And we'll just fire that off. Again, the safety. Is quite a loud crack, and you can actually see now why it's called the Ultra Compact, the size of that. So quite a nice simple system. It works very, very well. Moving forward, we've got the good, and this is quite a bulbous stock on the front here, good hand grip on here, but like I said, it is fairly front heavy. This is actually aching my arms a little bit holding it. We have the barrel along here, like I said, half UNF. Now, obviously, this is the Ultra Compact. You can get them with the standard ones where they're a bit longer on here. And then we have our, and I think this is a 200cc bottle. Like we said, we are looking at around about 150 shots in M177. Underneath on here, there is a plastic molded Picatinny bipod rail. Integral, you can't take it off. It's part of the plastic molding. Really nice to see that on there. And at the bottom we have the fill gauge on here, nice and simple, easy to read, in a good safe place, not on the end. And then you just have your quick fill adapter probe, which you will get supplied with the rifle, that just basically just slots in there, quick fill it all the way up to 200 bar, which most of you will be doing, out it pops, and you're good to go. And swinging around the rest of the rifle, there is not really that much to show here. There's nothing on the other side, but the actual build quality of the rifle from Walther Rotex is absolutely fantastic. All of the metal work on here, it's absolutely blemish free. Absolutely really cracking rifle, and I'm amazed that you can get this for £400 or less. So let's take this bad boy, let's take it out to the range in the garden. Let's stick some shots through it, unsorted pellets. We'll stick it in the rifle rest just to make sure that I take the human error out, and we'll come back and we'll see what we think about it. Right guys, so we're outside, we've got the RM8, it's a bit cold, the storms have just blown over. I've got my cup of coffee, 25 metres, we'll do a selection of pellets, 8 shots as in the magazine, unsorted, just check up they're okay, and let's give it a go. You know how this works. I've got it in a rest to take away my human error and try and get this as accurate as possible for you. So we're going to start off with, the very first will be the Crossman's 177s. Don't hold out much hope for these, but we'll give them a go anyway. Some people like a cheap pellet. Okay, next up are the H&N Barracudas, a very popular pellet, 177, 8 shots again. on to the JSB Exact, very popular, the 844 grain 177s. Okay, we're going to move on to the RWS Superfills. They're much cheaper pellets. Some people say these are good. I'm not holding out much hope. Let's give it a go. And finally onto the AA Field Diablos. Again, a lot of people say these are quite good. Let's give these a go. Okay, so that's the shooting done. Without just looking through the scope on that lot, I certainly say that the JSBs in the AA fields are pretty good. They felt nicer, they cycled better. But anyway, we'll take it back upstairs and let's do what our final thoughts are on the RM8. Okay, so we're back in, and how did we get on? Well, I'm actually quite impressed with it. You got to remember, I'm not going to probably say this quite a few times, but for the price, it's not done too bad at all. The Crossman's up the top of there, not too bad at all. And then we got the Barracudas up here. They're getting a couple of flyers of it, and I've heard reports that some people do get flyers. JSB's in the middle here, absolutely brilliant. There was one JSB that you might have noticed flew right up here. I had no idea what happened there. I think it might have been me or something. I don't know, but the JSB is certainly brilliant. The AAs, the Diablos, pretty good as well. And the RWSs were all over the place. I was scared of the camera down range. So from an accuracy point of view, you're not going to win any matches with it. But is it good enough? Yes, it is. It's accurate enough. You've got to find your right pellet. For this particular rifle, obviously all rifles will depend, but I found the JSB 8.44s worked very well. And with a bit more practice on my part, then yes, I can get some really good grouping, certainly at 25 meters. So I was pretty impressed with that. So accuracy, yeah, it's got the accuracy for what you'd expect for the price range. The build quality, it is a solid PCP rifle. There's nothing that's going to break on this. The ballistic plastic on here, absolutely rock solid. The metal working on it, even all the way down to the lettering of the Rotex on the back of here, all absolutely superb. Really do like the quality of the rifle itself. The fact that it's nice and short and compact. Now, obviously, I've added, my subscriber has added on a Virac silencer on the end of here, but you can actually get this thing fairly short down, but you are going to need a silencer on here for backyard plinking. It is loud without one, but get yourself a nice short stubby one, nice and compact. It does shoulder up quite well, but like I said, it is a bit front heavy, as you can see where all of that weight up here, and this is without the, even with the bipod on, it's the same. There's quite a lot of weight up front there. The stippling on it I do like. Yes, it's cheap plastic at the end of the day, but it's good, it's grippy, and it works. And when you're just holding the rifle, it just feels nice and secure. This cutout thumb hole here, nice thumb hole stock, and you got your finger down to the side, ready to go. Your thumb wrapped around, really nice. But there is one thing that I don't like about this, and a lot of people do say this, is this safety catch, the fact that it's auto on everything. When you're all lined up and you take your shots and you're ready to go like this, you're in this position and it's like getting this safety catch. Now, I've not got big hands, but literally you have to get either your hand around here and push it down, or I'm finding I'm taking my hand out completely, thumb in to press that button. It's a bit awkward, and yes, you do get used to it, but it's annoying, very, very annoying, that auto safety. I think that is probably the biggest letdown with this rifle. I do like the fact that it's got nice long dovetail rails up the top of it. That allows you to pretty much fit any scope. And the way that the magazine is so short and not so tall, it means that you can get pretty much any scope mounting system that you want on there. If you want high or low profile adapters on there, scope rails on there, no problem at all. What else? I've got my listings down here. The magazine system, yeah, brilliant. We all know some of the problems you get with some of the magazines, but this magazine is flawless. It just works really nice, dead simple to load. However, it's only 8 shots, but it is ditchy. But it would be nice if it's higher shot count, but that's not too bad at all on there. And of course, being the way that they are, those magazines are fairly cheap compared to other magazines. So what else don't I like about it? Well, I've talked about the fact that the auto safety, that is really annoying. The bolt itself, I found at times that the bolt can be a bit notchy when it feels like you're trying to force a pellet through. It can be a bit difficult, and like most bolt action rifles, they like to be cocked and done quite swiftly to push that pellet through on there. It can get a bit notchy, and it does depend on your pellets. When I stuck some of the RWSs, they didn't feel quite so right. The AAs felt good. The JSBs actually were in the middle, but shot better. So the bolt can be a little bit notchy. Its weight, it is a heavy rifle. I've shot a couple of these at a local range. There was a whole gaggle of them out there. People out there, I think they were probably the RM8 Owners Club or something. And every time I shot one of these, I found it heavy. And it does go on your arm a bit here after a while. There's no sling attachments on it either, which would be really nice, especially considering its weight. If you're out in the field, it'd be nice to put this over your shoulder. And there doesn't appear to be any for standard, so you'd have to find a way of adding them in yourself. The low shot magazine, it's 8 shots. I'm really nitpicking there, really nitpicking. And apparently they are going to be bringing out at the British Shooting Show. They announced in 2020 that they're doing a lighter version with different materials. Now, obviously, that's going to cost more. It's not out at the moment. And they're also actually looking at bringing out some laminate stocks. But those laminate stocks, the Manelli stocks, you're looking at £1,100. I'll leave some pictures for you to see them. Is it worth the extra £500, £600, £700 just for that type of stock? I'll leave that for you to decide. But overall, what do I think of the RM8? The RM8 is a cracking little rifle for under £400 in some places. It packs a lot of features, definitely. It's a tad heavy. The auto safety, yeah. But you know what? If you're looking for a cheap PCP or you want to get into air rifling, I don't think you can go far wrong with this. And it's by a good brand as well. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. Do you have an RM8? Or what do you think of them? Have I missed anything? Do you agree with me? Or do you vehemently disagree with me? Let me know. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, hit that bell notification, hit the subscribe button, check out our links, and I'll catch you on the next video.